internet for looking at cute cats on rooftops in China eating food with short little legs. Check out the short legs on this cat. Anyways, it's a rainy one today. See the mountain just consumed with the clouds up there. But got some cool tea today. Just snapped open a cake. I had a nice official protocol. It came in from the sides with a tea pick. Not this, because I don't want to bend the silver. But I broke open this cake. Got about 8.5 grams here and 8.5 grams over here. And 3 days left over here for the tea club for the summer. But let's not make this all about me. So yeah, this is the Shou. It's Fuding Shou. And I don't know how old it is. It was actually just a gift to me. But looking at how it's like fully oxidized, it's probably 5 to 10 years old. Yeah, that would be my guess. I'm going to give it a little rinse, kind of wake it up. It should have some nice sweetness to it. I've always loved the sweetness of Shou. And yeah, there's a loose Shou I'm trying to get my hands on right now. A 2012, which is just like candy, sickly sweet. And I'm just gonna like rinse this table. But yeah, Shou, great white tea, ages well, retains a really nice sweetness, and gets a really nice color going over time. I'm gonna give this a little bit of time here to just kind of open up. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. We had typhoon conditions last night. Meow, Choopy. We had a typhoon, crazy wind and rain yesterday. So the wind and lightning has gone, and now it's just rain. And it looks like it's going to be like 5 days of rain. But here I go again, old man mode. Just talking about the weather. Look at the feet, how they kind of go out to the sides there. Like a little 90-degree angle formed there. But yeah, really cute cat. This cat's looking at these birds over here. See, next door they actually raise these pigeons. These are just pigeons, but they're being raised for food over there. And you guys remember that big black cat, Hudza? He killed one of these pigeons once. But yeah, they're in really interesting conditions over there. Kind of just like a do-it-yourself sort of bird cage. And then I hear some cats fighting downstairs, but whoops, let's not forget about the tea. Love me some Shou white tea. In a nice rainy day with a cake of Shou. There's a cat going on there. I'm not really sure where they're now, but there's usually some cats warring. And you hear them going, wow! Anyways, they do that all night too. There's a lot of cats around here. But you know, the cats are better than rats. And I lived in a part of Shenzhen once called Bantian, and there were a lot of rats and not as many cats. So I prefer a cat to a rat any day. Waffles are just pancakes with abs. Hey Dole, thanks for stopping by and sharing that eternal wisdom about waffles and pancakes. Funny thing about food is I'm just not eating it again. Yeah, I'm basically doing an alternate week fasting system now, and I'm just like sprinting to get to my goal body weight. And I'm just done screwing around with counting calories and stuff. I mean, I'm still like eating in a deficit when I eat, but I'm just like not eating now for weeks at a time. And I'm sorry to bring that up. You know, I'm always trying to push my food habits on people. But you brought it up, Dole. Waffles are just pancakes with abs. And I'm trying to get some abs. So, yeah, cutting down now to 88 something on the scale, which I guess is about 180 pounds or something. or 190. Sorry, yeah, like 100 and, oh no, like 100 and, yeah, 185 pounds or something. I'm not really sure. Anyways, I'm cutting to 88 kg right now, and that's gonna take me potentially a week. So probably another week, no food, and just laying off it, you know. So I had my last supper last night, and yeah, just gonna not eat and see what that does. But yeah, I'm pretty experienced with these fasts now. I'm getting pretty good at not eating. Although last time, on like day 7, right before day 7, I like drank too much tea, and then I had to like go throw up. And so I was like in the bathroom purging tea foam from my stomach, and then I had a muscle cramp in my abs from the convulsion. So I had like a muscle cramp while I was throwing up. It was intense. But that was the longest fast I've ever done. 7 days last time. And then I just chowed down for like a week. And now I'm fasting again. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. Shou? Shou? This cat is not amused. I don't think he likes the rain. Hey, Sherry, shoot. Yeah, that's what I said. So that the cramp was just from electrolyte problem, some sort of electrolyte imbalance. You know, potassium and sodium and magnesium. But because I'd been exercising really hard too, and sweating it out every day on hikes, and I just finished an intense workout, and then I downed a bunch of tea because I was having some heartburn. You know, sometimes deep into a fast, I start getting some indigestion, like burning in my throat from like stomach acid. That's like, come on, bro, let's eat. And so I was like, okay, I'll just pound a bunch of tea to fix the heartburn, and that ended up making me throw up. And then I had like the ab muscle cramp, which was super painful. You know, throwing up is bad enough, but then to have like a muscle cramp really hard in your stomach, while, like in your abs, while you're throwing up. Anyways, the day after that is when I started eating again. So that was just a test, and it'll be a test this time too. But I'm going for another 7 days, get down to 88. Anyways, I don't want to just make this all about me. How's everybody doing out there? It's a rainy day here in Shenzhen. You see the water just streaming off roofs and stuff. You see how this wall is like black over there? This is southern China. You know, certain parts of buildings will just be wet all the time, and because the high humidity, so you just wind up with like a lot of black mold everywhere. I'm sure it's fine, and you know, everything's just rusting apart. You see there's just rust coming down the building there. Look at the real hack job to install this ventilation system there. It's definitely not up to code. They just hacked it right into the side of the building. Real sloppy. This would be, and like, look at the welding this guy did on my structure here. Just real sloppy, you know, just rusted, you know. And this is Chabador is the mindset. It means good enough, you know. There's definitely something to be said for that kind of efficiency, though. You know, in America, to install ventilation duct on the side of a building like that, you know, it'd be like $6,000 and 6 months and 6 committees later. And then someone would get hurt working on it and sue you. So it's like just hard to get stuff done. But over here, they're like, oh, we'll whip that up in an afternoon. Yeah, it's my first day welding. I'm sure it'll be fine. But, breakneck efficiency. Anyways, as opposed to the tender loving care that goes into nicely aged white tea. They're really interesting colors. Really like the green on this one. But yeah, I don't know the exact age of this tea, but I'm estimating it like fully oxidized, probably 5 or 10 years old. What a nice gift. Nice friend of my wife's, a friend of my wife gave me. So the cool thing about living in China, Chinese people in general really love it when a foreigner is into Chinese culture somehow. So when people find out that I'm like obsessed with Chinese tea, they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome!" And they want to give me some Chinese tea. Because almost everybody kind of knows somebody that produces tea, or they got that friend, that brother's friend who is in the tea business. So there's always some tea flopping between partners and associates and friends. So I have a steady flow of tea coming across my life constantly. My wife's a yoga teacher, and all her students know I love tea. So there's just like this steady flow of new teas. Actually, I want to make a video about being a tea hoarder, because it's getting kind of out of control, where I just have to like bring boxes of tea to friends and just be like, "Here, now it's your problem." Because I'm just stacking boxes to the sky full of tea that were like one-off samples, or stuff I can't get more of. If it's sellable and it's quality, then I ship it to America. But I end up with a bunch of tea on my end that's just like, I'm not gonna run it or sell it. So, hey, Damien Mata, I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, let me just box it up and spend $250 on shipping to DHL it to you. Sherry Shoot said, "I want to live in China. What's good things about living there?" Well, right off the bat, the low cost of living is nice. Yeah, low cost of living is great. I'm in Shenzhen, which is one of the most expensive cities in China. But, I have this really nice apartment. Really nice apartment, and I only pay like $550 a month for it. And Australian steaks are cheap. It's just the low cost of living is a great thing. And you can experience that low cost of living across Asia. I've lived in Vietnam before, and I've lived in Thailand before. When I say live, I mean, like at least like 3 months of continuous time. But yeah, Thailand, $1,000 a month, great living. Vietnam, $1,000 a month, great living. China, $1,000 a month, good living. I wouldn't say it's great. It's good. In a city like Shenzhen, you probably want a little bit more than $1,000 a month. If you need like a fancy apartment, which I don't. And I actually prefer these old kind of farm buildings out in the sticks here. But yeah, look at the clouds kind of hanging over the mountain there. Kind of misty slopes. But yeah, low cost of living is great. And what else? The people. Chinese people are really nice, friendly. And I'm able to kind of like, just kind of like, I don't let like a lot of the noise get to me. And there's like a peace. There's like a real peace to living in Asia. We're like, that's like the media machine in America is like always going full blast. Like, what do they want you to think about now? I insulate myself from that, so I don't really get it. I don't know what people are talking about right now. Like, what did what did Trump do or something? It's always like something, right? So huge distraction, and I just cut that out. Don't do any of that. And I pay a little bit of attention to like some local news, just so like, I know what's kind of going on regionally. But yeah, so that's really nice. There's like a serenity to just getting outside the noise. And there's a serenity to not being fluent in the local language too. I mean, you can walk by people and maybe you don't really understand what they're saying, and that's great. It's like just one less stimulating variable entering your ear hole. So this is maybe kind of a weird way of looking at things, but yeah, I feel like today in 2025, it's like we have unlimited free information, right? And it really comes down to what you can not pay attention to. Like, that's the deciding factor. And so I become like a master at just like cleaning my inputs. And yeah, so that's a good thing about living in Asia. You can get outside the noise. You can look maybe more objectively at what's going on around the world, not in like a echo chamber bubble. But of course, you create that online, but I kind of stay away from that too. I really just use the platforms as a producer, not so much as a consumer. And that's good too for regulating dopamine and all that. And then like yeah, anyways, I'm getting kind of off track here. But yeah, specifically as an entrepreneur, low cost of living, low overhead is huge. And it allows you to take more risk, and it allows you to scale faster and move quicker. And so, yeah, there's a lot of benefits to a low cost of living and a clean, simple personal life. I just have a wife, and it's like really low drama. And so I have a really clean, I don't really hang out with friends, and I don't, like talk to friends every day or anything. So I have like a really clean, simple personal life. And then I'm outside like the noise of the news. And those two things have really just allowed me to go deep on what's important to me. And I'm not like some master of, productivity or business or anything. Like, I'm just learning. But, yeah, anyways, just kind of rambling here. Tea. Love tea. Yeah, drinking tea is a big part of my serenity, too. This tea is nice. Yeah, someone just gave me a fat cake of this Shou. I was like, yes, please, and thank you. Well, they gave it to my wife. So she just comes home with like a big cake. Like, my friend wanted to give this to you. I'm like, thank you. Put it on the shelf. And then also I have some like tea farmers that'll just start sending me stuff too. So it's yeah, steady flow of nice tea is a great part of living in China too. And these animals, there's a lot of animals that just show up. I've never like bought an animal, but we've had like over the past 10 years we've had like so many dogs. I've fixed a lot of dogs up, like gotten them like a medical treatment, and then fatten them up a little bit, and then find them a good owner. And we've done that with other cats too, and dogs, and so there's always a surprising flow of animals coming into your life too, if you're into that sort of thing. Because there's a little bit of a tendency, Shenzhen's like an immigrant city. Like most people in Shenzhen are not from Shenzhen. They're from, well, a lot of them are from kind of central China, rural China. And, yeah, so there's a lot of people coming and going in a place like Shenzhen. And a lot of people will acquire animals, and, they do this all over the world. And then the animal just gets, like, tossed to the curb. It seems to be a little bit less of an emotional connection with animals here. In the West, we're very quick to personify animals and, you know, treat them like family members, and not so much that a little bit less of that in Asia in general, I think. So yeah, a lot of animals just end up roaming the street, like domestic cats and dogs, just kind of like homeless. And you know, every now and then there's like some crackdown roundup, and I think they just euthanize a bunch of them. But I remember in India there'd be like packs of wild dogs running around, and they would all be spayed and neutered and then just set free again, which was interesting. They would clip their ear, so they'd like cut off half the dog's ear to like mark it, so you could see that it had been captured and then like neutered or spayed and then released. So there are like packs of these dogs running around in India, with like half an ear missing. It was just really interesting. Like packs of like 20 dogs, like in a city, like running down the street. And cows in the middle of the freeway. India is a trip. I've spent a little bit of time in India. I've been to India twice in about 2 months each time. So I've spent about 4 months in India. A lot of different places, mostly yoga places. Oh, look, there's some Indian stuff over there. It's Ganesh from the Hindu religion. But yeah, animals. Gotta love them. But yeah, the tea and the low cost of living and the people. Okay, look at these birds. These birds are just chilling up here now. And this cat wants to eat these birds. And these are food birds. They live next door, and they're bred for, you can see one right there in the cage behind the net. And these birds are for human consumption. They're food pigeons. You don't think about like food pigeons, but yeah, that's a thing out here. I do love a good pigeon. Anyways, back to fasting now, so I won't be eating anything. Probably till like Sunday or something, just a long time. But you know what's not a long time? The Tea Club. 3 days left, guys. Through Wednesday to join the Summer Tea Club. And then you gotta wait. You gotta just wait until October would be your next time to get in on it. Actually, I'm thinking about totally changing that so that you can enroll at any time. But, you know, there would just be like a hard cutoff, and then it would ship after that. So I think I'm going to do that actually for Q4, for the fall quarter. So you'll be able to join like next week for the fall quarter. And it would just say like closes, you know, like October 15th. So as long as you join it before October 15th, you're into the fall. But then after October 15th, the listing would change to winter quarter. And then it would be like you'd have to join by like January 15th to be in the winter. Anyways, this it doesn't really matter, and it's not that important. So let's just drink this tea. Kind of nice variety of picking here. You can see we have like a bud there, and we have like a nice mature leaf there. So, you know, Shou ends up being like a kind of a catch-all. So you'll get like a nice bud, but then you'll also get some like sticks and some mature leaves. Just kind of like a really robust sort of white tea. But yeah, Shou cakes age really well. They're very nice. I like them. La 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 la. La 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 la. Delicious. I think that cat's going to go to the bathroom over there. See how mossy everything is? It's just that high humidity, man. Everything's like slick. Like, check it out over here. This is so slippery right here. I don't even see there's like this outline of moss. And you just step on that, like you're gonna slip. And it's just these wet, humid conditions. You know, I'm from San Diego, and it's like dry, arid, you know, totally different than this tropical climate here. Anyways, always talking about the weather. But thanks for stopping by, everybody. Really appreciate it. Just wanted to share this white tea cake with you. Kind of some beautiful colors on this thing. And yeah, white tea, Shou. And it ages well. And it's nice. You end up with this really nice color, nice amber. Because there's no kill green phase. You know, with white tea, it's super simple. They just pick it and then just like sun dry it. You know, it's just like picked and dried. So simple. There's no cooking phase. So this enzymatic activity within the leaves is constantly going. So that's why, you know, like if you buy like a Longjing, like a green tea, like it'll stay green for years. Like 5 years later, it's still going to be green because all the oxidation has been halted by that cooking. So with a white tea like this, that is not halted. So it continues to oxidize over time, very slowly. But yeah, 5 years in, it's going to be like fully oxidized. Anyways, that's going to do it for today. It's just started raining again. But I'm going to head on over to a competing platform and see what's going on over there. But thanks so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having a little glimpse into my life here. Sherry Shoot, thanks for the cool questions. And Damien Mata, really awesome for you to stop by. But yeah, I think the only tea I ship is going to be tea that's going to sell on the website. But yeah, I'll show you that my hoard pretty soon. I'll make a little funny video. Come inside the apartment of a tea hoarder. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for stopping by. And yeah, drink some nice tea.